end of the day, we watch movie, forget about it, no action. And some people are actually here, they will actually get something, and at the end of the day, they will take a step, no matter how little. They will take a step. Either to, okay, let me just create an account and do this thing that this person has actually taught us. They will do that also and get results. And some will actually do it because they are not consistent. They will not really get the result they need, and from there they will just decide, okay, this is not for me. You know. So we have various aspects to all of this. Okay. I think the number is actually encouraging now. Thank you very much. Okay, so to run us through the series that we have been having, I believe we started this the first of this month by our founder, Toluwani. Thank you very much. I love the encouragement now. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. So we started 1st of April, and that was how to start a career in tech and AI. And that session was actually taken by our founder herself. It was a very wonderful session. So this is me just running us through how we have been running through this series to the stage at which we currently are, and the one we will be proceeding to with today. And also, on the 7th of April, we actually had another series, and that one was that how people are actually making money in tech. It was also a wonderful session. If you are there, it was also a very, very wonderful session. And to continue, we had another session with one of our speakers again, and that was how to start a VA and automation career and get your first paying clients. It was also another wonderful session. It was also, can you see how this series is emerging? I don't know if you noticed the pattern. So some is for tech, some is for VA and automation, and the next one here says that was on the, I think, 13th of April. That was how to make money with AI content creation. AI content creation. If you check your Instagram, TikTok, this is something that's actually been making people a huge amount of money. So that was one of the series that we also led. And of recent, we had another series, I think on the 17th of April. So that was about how to become a high-income digital marketer using AI. So this is to tell us that AI has actually come to not replace us with everything we've learned, unless you just want to be mediocre about it. It has come to actually make life easy for us. Honestly, I'm not one of those people that is threatened by AI. No, I'm not threatened by AI. So it has come to actually make what we normally do. Of course, I'm not threatened by AI. It has come to actually make what we have been doing, since we have been using our brain. Imagine, I want to create a content and I have to think. I have to meet people that have been doing it, pay for sessions, all of those things. Now I can just walk up to an AI and just pour out my mind. You know how easy this is? You can also use like mic on your phone, turn on the mic and speak. You don't even have to crack your head on how to type the English. At times you can, you know how funny and how sweet this is? Okay, you can use your language. This evening, I was speaking with one of my colleagues at work, and she's a female. She's just one of our utility staff, and she wants to do something with one of the AI. So I was like, okay, so we actually know about this. I did not introduce it to her, so I was kind of surprised she knows about it because I was not expecting that. Not to downplay her, not to downplay her. But then she told me what she used the AI for. Can you believe she used the AI for just this partner? Then I laughed. This was very, very funny to me. Just a gist partner. Then I told her, do you know how powerful this tool is? Do you know what this can do for you? Then I put that through one or two things. Okay, you can actually do this, can actually do this. This thing can pull resources from you on the web if you need it. And before the close of business, she was actually able to prompt the AI to give her Instagram profile of people she can actually reach out to for what she wants to do with them. Can you see how wonderful that can be? So if you are, if you are here still threatened by AI, I think you actually need to have a rethink of that. What you just need to do is how to bring this familiar to you and how to inculcate it in your own work. And this evening, we are continuing our series, and I believe if all of the ones we've done is not in sync with you one way or the other, this one should actually go with you. So this one we have this evening is start how people are breaking into tech and how people are breaking into tech and AI without coding. Most of us must have been hearing the word vibe coding, automation, AI tools. You know that even our great developers and all of them, they are actually finding it flexible right now. They don't have to sit on laptops hours and just type. I remember 2017, 2018 that I decided to go into tech to learn one or two things. Oh man, Jesus. I could not even sustain. I'm not sure if I sustained it once. I ran. Because tell me how, hey, I have my studies to still face. I'm not saying people that are doing it, they are, but when you know your weakness, when you know your strengths, don't waste your time. Just don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. So that's exactly how it is. So this evening, we are bringing to us one of these series again. And we hope you sit back. I would say pick a popcorn, but no, don't pick popcorn. No. What you need right now is a pen and your jotter. And if you have a jotter, you can use your notepad, whichever one. Instead of picking a popcorn and just, while away time and get distracted with everything she'll probably be saying, just take your time, enjoy the moment, and as well, make sure you are jotting something down. At the end of the day, these are things that will help you rethink, and at the end of the day, you probably go to your own personal AI and still have conversations about what you've learned and how you can actually take a meaningful step from it. So I hope I'll be able to run us through the series and how we have been having it. So you can actually go to our YouTube, check it out, see the sessions we have, re-listen to it, and then pick up something from there. This is actually something that people pay to bring to your notice. People will pay you definitely. They will pay you. You will pay people to get this kind of information that we turn into series, and we are bringing it to you free of charge. Thank you, everyone. I love the reaction. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All right. I would not like to hit into my speaker's time, so I think it's the hour of the events that I introduced her properly. Just a minute. Please don't stop with the reaction. Let's keep it coming in. Let's keep it coming in. All right, good evening, everyone. Okay, I see quite a number of people have joined. You're welcome here, Grace. If you're welcome. Anastasia, good evening. Emmanuel, I can see you. Catherine, Deborah, good evening. Yeah, Favor, good evening, you're welcome. Timtope, good evening. Oluwapelumi, good evening. Bola, I can see you. Oyinda Mola, good evening, everyone. You're welcome. And if you know anyone that is supposed to be here that will benefit from this place, do well to tag them, ring their self, just make sure they benefit from this wonderful session. All right, so introduce my wonderful speaker for this session. Okay, it goes this way. He has a very, very serious profile. When you see serious profile, you know the work. People, what are you doing? Which one? Hey, okay, don't worry. All right, so when you see a wonderful profile, you know. The Bible says, sorry if you are not a Christian, but one of the references I love to make is to the Bible. By their fruits, you shall know them. By their fruits, you shall know them. These days is by your profile, by your social presence, we will know you. There's no need to say, okay, bring your CV. We don't have time for that today. We just check through, okay. But then, can you send us your LinkedIn accounts? That's what we want to see. We want to see what exactly you are made of, what exactly you are putting out there. Because this is part of how we know how you think. We know how you think, how you portray yourself, how you see yourself, how you display yourself out there. So when I got hold of this book, I was like, wow, I saw something that I'm going to read to us that is going to, maybe wow you. And if it's not, probably most of us are Nepo baby. But me, I am still trying to be Nepo baby, so I was wowed. Yeah. All right. So our speaker this evening is someone with a strong track record of managing high impact projects across oil and gas. Yeah, oil and gas in quotes. That was exactly what I saw, and I was like, wow. You know what that is? Oil and gas engineering. Then she has construction. Do you know people that work in the construction? Wow. Anyway, to continue, she has worked in the fintech, arts, and social initiatives. She has successfully trained and mentored thousands of aspiring project managers. Please keep it coming, keep it coming. Can't you hear what I'm reading to you? This is a strong profile. She has successfully managed and trained more than 1,000 of aspiring project managers, helping them to transit from learning to execution, not just learning, but actually carrying out what they learn with measurable results. She is recognized for her leadership and commitment to excellence. She combines strategy, structure, and innovation, leveraging automation and modern tools to deliver efficient and scalable outcome. You see, leveraging it, not just getting threatened by it. Development it will always come. You can't stop it. You can't stop development. That's one thing I love about this profile. Also, she completed a course on design thinking from Jim Leach Foundation, which is in Queen's University, Canada, and has received numerous awards. One of which is the STEM Leadership Recognition from the Society of Petroleum Engineers. You see, the Society of Petroleum Engineers actually recognize her, and this is just one of them. She is called the project manager who cares. I love that. The project manager who cares. This shows that she is an empathetic individual. People are not reacting. I don't know. I don't know. Are they jealous or what? What to be jealous now? You have to like rejoice with someone like this so that one day your profile will be red like this and somebody down there will always cheer you. That's the way it should be. You don't have to be jealous. All right, this is no other person than Enobong Okosin. She is a results-driven project manager, founder, and CEO of the Global Project Leaders. This is a fast-growing project management agency and training community empowering the new generation of leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give it to her. Give it to Enobong Okosin. And I want to see us cheering. Can you see? I'm even clapping already. I feel like it's a physical gathering. Please, let's give it to her. Let's give it to her. Let's give it to her. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, speaker, I think you have the floor now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you very much, Oluwafemi, for that very, very interesting introduction. And I love the way you engage everyone. You just give everyone a bit of something. So it was really, really nice. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Lovely to see a familiar face here. Hello to Luwani. And I love to see that there are so many people here. Thank you for all the claps. Thank you so, so much. Thank you all so much. Okay, so let's get right into it and let's ensure that, like our presenter has said, I hope we all get one or two things from today's session and that we don't just stop there, right? The trick is execution. Okay, make sure that you are implementing something that you learned today. So welcome, everybody. So let me go ahead to share my screen now and then we get started. Okay, so just get on the call. So you just let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry you can't see my face today. I wasn't exactly prepared to show my face. But then maybe if there's another session, preferably in the morning, you'd be able to see that.
We're expected to see the wonderful face as well.
Oh my God. So you could ask Toluwani how I look, so she'd be able to give you a description.
Yeah, we don't want the descriptions.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me do an open picture view and then we get to the slide. All right, so hello everyone, good evening. For those people who are probably not in Nigeria, I want to believe that there are a lot of people here who are not in Nigeria. Hello, so good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining in from. Welcome to today's session. So today we are going to talk about how people are breaking into tech and AI without coding. So like our facilitator has said, our moderator for today, Oluwafemi, said, I'm a project manager, right? So I haven't coded before. So unlike him who has some experience in coding, I just knew that coding was not for me. So I didn't even try it. I saw a lot of software engineers, a lot of this one would say, oh, I'm a front end engineer. This one would say, oh, I'm a back end engineer. This one would now say, oh, I'm everything. So I'm like a full stack. But I'm like, you guys should do your thing and I'm going to do mine. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how you can do that without prior experience. So if you want to get things started, these are the results, right? These are like, there are a lot of rewards for those people who want to break into tech without any software experience, any coding experience. So like I said, you don't need to be a software engineer to create value in tech. What you have to be able to do is, first of all, know how to solve problems. Okay, know how to solve problems. So I'm going to tell you a personal story. This is what happened when I started project management, or even before I started project management. So I was the vice president of a particular chapter there in school. So I don't know if a lot of students here, but I was the vice president of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, okay, the entire department for my university as at that time. And there was this thing I always did, that when there is a speaker to reach out to, people always reach out to me because they know I have a way of communicating with these people. So that was the problem I was solving, the communication problem. Okay, so because I could solve the communication problem, I got my first paid role then in my 200 level, because the organization that came to me knew that I was able to communicate with people, get solutions, explain things properly, and that's why they reached out to me. So my own solution was the solution to a communication barrier. Okay, so know how to solve problem first. Then this drives me to the second one, which is communicate clearly. Okay, so there's a saying that if you're not communicating clearly, or if someone cannot understand what you're saying, that means you're not communicating. So you want to be able to communicate clearly. How do you communicate clearly? When you know your audience, you know their pain points, you know what they want to learn, what they want to hear. So that's why I was really, really excited, extremely excited when I saw the questions. Okay, the person who sent the email, I don't know her name, I would love to know, or his or her name. So the person was able to send some questions that you all were asking. I said, oh, this is interesting. The person wants to show his or herself. Okay, it's probably a mistake. Okay, so yeah, so communicate clearly. Then another thing you want to do to be rewarded, even though you're not a front-end engineer, back-end engineer, or any of that, is you want to be able to turn ideas into outcomes. Okay, turn ideas into outcomes. So people have this idea in their head. A lot of people have different ideas, different things they want to do, but nobody, like, less people are able to execute. Okay, so for someone who wants to do something other than coding, another skill you want to have, another way you can create value, to turn ideas into outcomes. Like, let people have like solutions to their ideas, let people see their ideas come to life. Okay, then another thing you want to do to create value is to understand workflows. Know how each process done, what process follows the other, how are things being accomplished. Okay, just know the system as to which things can be executed. All right, so understand workflows. Then the last thing, or the last but not the least, is be able to use tools and frameworks properly. So today we are going to talk about the different AI tools that you can use for your business, or the different tools in general that you can use, no matter who you are. You're a student, you're a business person, no matter who you are, you want to be able to use these tools and frameworks properly. All right. So I said coding industry. Nope, that's not the order for today. The order for today is systems, tools, workflow, problem solving. So systems, tools, workflow, problem solving. All right. So you want to be on board with all of this. Okay, please give me a minute. Let me check something.
All right, I believe we are penning something down. She just mentioned something. I want to believe we are following. So I would like us to just type that into the comments. She says system, tools, workflow, and problem solving. If I'm right. So please type that into the comment box. If
Yes,
you are
yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to use another software for the presentation. That's why I wanted to use Microsoft Projects.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, so systems, tools, workflow, problem solving. Systems, tools, workflow, problem solving. Okay. Okay, so yes, thank you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is you might be asking, what exactly can I do? How can I step into the world of non-AI? Okay, the world of non-code. Okay, the non-code world. What can I do? All right. So I decided to have like 6 different paths that you can follow if you're a non-technical professional, you know. So before I did that, I was able to look at different sources, you know, what is happening, what's the in thing, what won't be replaced anytime soon, because you want to be effective, you want to be relevant in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Okay. So according to an article by 2 of the top voices, from one is from the Opportunity of Work and another is from India, they said employers are increasingly seeking non-technical professionals with AI tool proficiency, while AI literacy skill demand has risen sharply. All right. So now people are looking for those who know how to use these AI tools effectively. So now, if you can learn, go ahead and start learning, know how to use, you know, prompt engineering, automations, and all of that system. So the first one is project coordination and PMO support. PMO is Project Management Office. So here you have your project managers, you know, you have your program managers, you have those people who are in charge of project coordination. So if you have any of these skills, you'd know that, oh, you can gain entry into this particular part of project coordination and PMO support. So this is where I fall. So obviously that's why it's number 1, because you know you have to do that for yourself. Okay, so that's the first one, you know, project coordination and PMO support. The next is operations and workflow management. So now organizations are looking for people who can manage their operations, you know, their daily activities. How often are they able to get things running? What do they need to think about in terms of cost, in terms of cost, in terms of the human resources in the organization? So operations and workflow management. So here you could have like your HR managers, here you can have your business developers, here you can have your operations manager. Okay, so that's the second part you can gain entry to. Another is customer success and implementation. Normally this should be first, but because I'm a project manager, project coordination came first. But everyone is looking at how they can communicate with their customer, because without your customers, without your users, your business is as good as closed down. So if you're able to communicate with customers effectively, if you're able to onboard more users for the company, people will be looking for you. Me, I can get 100 users for your product. People are going to call you. Okay. When I was on a call with Toluwani, she was just asking me what is it for the business, how are we making profits. People are looking for those who can convert their business ideas into paying customers. All right, so if you're able to manage customers properly, customer relationship management, if you're able to do that, if you're able to onboard people into the business who can pay and ensure that that business does not close down, the business is always getting profits, you're going to be looked out for. Another one is QA, which is quality assurance, testing, and process auditing. All right. If you're able to conduct regular checks on the business, on the product, on the project, and identify flaws, okay, make sure that the system is functional, the system is working, people are going to look for you. So quality assurance officer, quality testers, anyone who is in charge of quality assurance and testing or process auditing. Most times for most energy or oil and gas sectors, they are looking for process managers, okay, or process engineers, anyone who is able to keep the process running, identify flaws, make sure that any bug is being tested, identified early and tested. Those people are always looked out for. Another one that you might see more easily, I heard you guys did some sessions on content generation and all of that. So that's where you have content, community, and digital support. All right. So if you're able to bring up best content, selling content, convincing content, people are going to look for you. You also have community managers here, people that are able to manage communities, keep people active, keep people engaged. I can see Oluwafemi doing the whole pom-pom. So it's like he's a community manager. So, Oluwafemi, do you have something to tell us? But yeah, so if you're able to keep the community active, if you're able to get people to do the tasks, if you're able to get people's needs and just provide solutions and help create that kind of community. Now, people look for those who have community because it's those who have community that turn to like paying clients. So if you look at the social media space nowadays, people are mostly aiming to have communities, people who are always ready to get the work done, people who are always ready to support. Okay, so if you're able to do that in this space, they are definitely going to look for you. All right. Then the last one is no code automation and internal tools. So we have the AI engineers, we have machine learning engineers. Okay, let me not say machine learning because people don't want to code. But yeah, so we have anyone who is able to, automation engineers, those people who are in charge of automating systems. All right, okay, so today we have meeting minutes. We are going to look at the tools later on, but after today's meeting, for example, there could be, yes, the session is recorded. So you could have like your Gemini tool. Now, Gemini also does automation for meeting minutes. So if you're able to operate the system, make sure that it is functional, it is in every call, it is in every meeting. So no one has to sit down again and type out meeting minutes. You just have to maybe cross-check because most of the AI systems or AI tools are kind of defective. So all you just have to do is to go through this meeting notes, make sure that everything is aligned, spellings are on check, So now these are the 6 areas that people are looking at gaining entry to. So even if you have 0 experience in coding, you could always function in any of these areas. Like I said, for me, I'm a project manager. So that is me in project communication or project coordination and PMO support. Okay, so just to look at, okay, we are going to talk about that going forward. Let me not say everything now. But yes, okay. So you might be looking for like, oh, are you sure this thing is really relevant? Are you sure I shouldn't just go into become a software engineer? Are you sure I should not learn coding? No. Okay. No. Now we have artificial intelligence at our beck and call doing the work for us. Okay. You don't need to know how to code. All right. So I was able to also do some research, and I got this data from the 2024 Work Trend Index annual report from Microsoft and LinkedIn, and also from the World Economic Forum. So you'd see that globally, this is being recognized so that you're not just working on eggshells, okay? You're not just, is this thing really relevant? It is relevant. So 75% of knowledge workers globally use generative AI at work. Generative AI, that's where your chat GPT comes in. 75% of knowledge workers globally, not just in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but around the globe. Okay. And 66 of leaders say that they would hire someone, that they would not hire someone who doesn't have AI skills. Well, 71% would prefer a less experienced candidate with AI skills over a more experienced one without them. So this is not saying you shouldn't hone your skills or like have skills apart from artificial intelligence. This is just saying that you should make sure that, excuse me, even as you have your different individual skills, you also have your AI skills so that you're easily hired. Okay. People are looking for you more because you're saving them money, you're saving them a lot of stress. All right. Then another one says that AI literacy skills added on LinkedIn rose to about 177% since 2023. That's about 2 years ago. So a lot of people are gaining experience now. So please, it's no pressure, okay? But we are going to talk about how you can start, all right, and how you can grow from there, okay? And the World Economic Forum, WEF, says technological skills are rising the fastest, all right? So that's led by AI and big data, followed by cybersecurity and technological literacy. All right, so you want to get on board as soon as possible. This is to emphasize what we talked about earlier. Where does real value come from? First, clarity. Be able to define the problem. So you're in an organization or you want to go into an organization and you ask yourself, what is the problem? What are these people passing through? Where do they need me to come in and help? What exactly can I everyone says, what can I bring to the table? So even in the workplace, you're asking yourself, what can I bring to the table? You might say, oh yes, I'm the table. You can say, if I sit on the table, I'm going to break it. All right. So you want to know how you are contributing to the global scape of the company. So clarity, define the problem. All right. Know what the problem is. Then you also want to understand how work flies. All right, that's how we looked at, that's where we look at workflows. How does work flies? What goes into this? When I was doing studying design thinking at Jim Leach Foundation, Queen's University, Canada, we're looking at the design thinking. So now you understand the problem. Then you now look at the entire system. Okay, oh, okay, this set of people, okay, that set of people, how do they come together? What does this person contribute that affects the entire ecosystem? All right, so we could say something like, for example, Toluwani is a part of the system. Toluwani has to train these 5 people. So we could say Oluwafemi, Adeleke, who else can I see on the call? Let me see. Toluwani, Oluwafemi, Adeleke, Anastasia, Awadjok. You guys want to use Yoruba names and shame me. It will not work. Catherine and Deborah, right? So we can say Toluwani trains these 5 people, All right. And these 5 people are able to bring in their different skills as a project manager to ensure that they are driving the entire system. So you just want to understand how work flies, how things are done. All right. And then you're not stopping there. You're now being fluent in the use of tools, because you want to make sure that as you understand the system, as you know the problem, you're able to do the work effectively using the different tools. Because these tools are not there to just be part of the work. Okay, they are there to make the work easier. So when we look at the different tools you can use, then we will now look at how to choose the different tools, no matter where you are, no matter what organization you work for. All right. Then, even as you're using these tools, as you are thinking, as you're getting clarity on the problem, you want to be able to have a sense of judgment. So this sense of judgment is most times what makes you stand out from artificial intelligence tools. Okay, because then you're able to verify output. Oh, okay, so if we are doing this training, what are the results going to be? How can we make sure that the result is what we've planned to achieve? Okay, you have the sense of judgment, you have the ability to critically think, ask questions, make verifications. So even if an artificial intelligence, so now ChatGPT will tell you ChatGPT makes mistakes. If you open your ChatGPT app, you would see something under really tiny, but it's out there. They're just saying disclaimer, or don't say we didn't tell you. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Okay, so verify outputs and catch errors. If there is any error in the system, if there is any error in the process, you're able to identify those. You have a clear sense of judgment. Then another way is communication. Communication is very, very important. As you're gaining clarity on all of these systems, as you're giving value, you want to know how to communicate, to align people with decisions. Okay, people cannot stand alone, decisions cannot stand alone, they have to work together. So as someone who is bringing value to the organization, the team, as the case may be, you want to know how to communicate properly to merge these two systems together, people and the decisions to be made. Okay. So you guys also asked, oh, I'm a beginner. Where do I start from? So that's why I said it's no pressure, but at least get started. Because when you try to, I have to do this, I have to do that, you would end up not doing anything. So you want to get something done. So don't chase every AI tool, but start somewhere. These are the first must know. So you want to start with ChatGPT, okay, Gemini, and Claude style assistants. All right. So these tools are like your generative AI tools. Now you have your voice prompt, so you could prompt these tools, but at least know how to use it. Know the shortcuts. Okay, know how to use your prompt systems. Now there are shortcuts. Now there are different codes you can use. Not codes, let me not scare you. Now there are different how should I put it? There are different there are different prompts basically. If you say, for example, okay, let's use the simple ones, just like you can type Control A on your system and it will select all. Okay, when you're using these tools, when you're using these AI tools, there are also those shortcuts that you can use to get the best results. So you want to learn how to use them at every point in time so that you're not stranded. Oluwafemi was talking about his colleague at work who was just using it as some sort of conversation builder, talking to it and everything. There are other ways that you can use AI tools to simplify your work. So you could start with Gemini, you can start with ChatGPT, you can start with Claude. Okay, these are almost easy to use. Anyone can use it. All right. Another one you want to learn how to use is Google Workspace, or Microsoft 365. So this is Google Workspace is like a powerhouse for all Google tools. All right, so you have your Google Docs, you have your Google Sheets, you have your um, what, Google Slides. Yes, you have your slides. You know, you even have this one that people use to like do their portfolios. Yeah, trying to remember the name now. Basically, Google Workspace tools, you have different tools that you can use for anything. Even your Gmail too is part of your Google Workspace tools. So depending on the function that you want to do, depending on what you set out to do, the different tasks you want, okay, you have your different tools to help you. The same with Microsoft 365 too. So there are different tools there. All right. Then you have your sheets or your Excel. So you want to know how to use different shortcuts on either your Google Sheet or your Microsoft Excel tool. Then another thing you could learn how to use is Canva. Right now, Canva has brought in AI as well. So you can now prompt your AI system. In short, the other day, I just went online. I wanted to make a post, okay? So all I just did was, now if you check your chat GPT, you would see a Canva prompt, right? So all I just did was put in the prompt, put in what I wanted, and then press enter. And it now led me to my Canva app, and the design was already produced. Okay. That was it happened in less than 5 minutes. So that's how easy it is these days to use AI tools. You can do anything. All you just have to do, like I said, because most of these AI tools can make mistakes, is just one or two edits and you're good to go. Okay. Then you will now have Notion or Google Docs. Notion and Docs is used mostly for text. Okay. You have your meeting minutes, you have your plans, anything you want to do that is more of text than tables. Google Sheets is where you're using like your tables and all of that. Then the next thing you want to learn how to use is Zapier. So this is more for the big boys. Okay, so you've learned these basics. So let me say something about these must know tools. You don't have to learn everything at once. You can do one after another. Okay, so you could decide to choose between ChatGPT, Gemini, or Cloud and learn one. So say you're using 2 months to learn ChatGPT, okay, you're using another 2 months to learn how to use Google Workspace tools and its different prompts, or Microsoft 365. Another 2 months or 3 months, because there's more to Excel now, Visual Basic and all of that. So you say you're using 3 months to learn how to use your Google Sheet or your Microsoft Excel. Then you're using maybe 3 months to learn how to use Canva. So you don't need to know how to do the design per se, but at least know the AI aspect so that you can prompt it to bring out designs, as the case may be. All right. Then the last one, you now learn Notion or Google Docs. So you could always pace these things out, but make sure that you're getting something done. If you're somebody who can combine more than one, you feel free to do that. But if not, please, your pace, how you learn. So you could just learn all of these tools one by one. These are the most important and the most used. All right. Then the next one you want to learn how to use is Zapier. Okay, Airtable, Trello, or Asana, or ClickUp, or Jira. So I put this together because they do almost the same thing. They just have one or two changes, and that's fine. So whichever one you want to use, see Trello comes first. Trello is mostly the simplest one. You mostly hear people, especially non-technical people, talk about Trello because it's simpler, it has a more visual outlook to it. So you could use Trello, or if you want to go ahead, you could know how to use Asana, or you learn how to use ClickUp or Jira. Jira is more advanced. Okay, if you're working in the software development space, then that's where you'd see more people use Jira more. Okay. Then the next one is your Gemini. I talked about Gemini in previously. Okay, so you could also use Gemini to make meeting summaries. So you don't have to go through the stress of creating a summary of meeting. All you just have to do is to make sure that your the toggle for Gemini meeting notes is turned on. So it just takes the meeting summaries for you. Then later on, if you're an Odogo, you're like, this small boys, well, like, what are we doing here? Yeah, what is ChatGPT? What is Google Workspace? What is shit? What is Canva? What is Notion? I already know how to use Trello. I know how to use Gemini very well. Then you can now go for Lovable or Bolt. These are more extensive tools. These days, people use Lovable to create websites, right? So zero coding experience, but they are creating really, really great websites. So you could use Lovable. You could also use agentic AI. So that is one of the most, how should I put it? It's one of the AI systems that's, people don't really talk about agentic AI, but it's really, really good and really effective. So this is how you'd want to grow, even as a beginner. Like I said, no pressure, just know what works for you, know how to use each of these tools and execute. Okay, the what do you call it now, the trick is execution. That's what makes a lot of people to stand out. When I started project management 5 years ago, a lot of people were not doing anything, right? A lot of people did not even start. But how you have an edge, how you grow, how you stand out is by at least starting something, and then you go from there, you learn more, you increase your capacity to learn. Okay, but please start something. So how do you choose your tool? So I was just able to put this together because you might be wondering, there are a lot of things to do. I'm still stressed. I still feel pressured. Like a lot of peer pressure is going on around me. How do you make your decisions? Is what I want to call the ROI test. ROI is return on investment. Okay. So a tool matters if it helps you to do at least one of the below. All right. So is the tool saving you time? Is the tool reducing the number of mistakes you make? Is the tool increasing or improving the quality of your work? Does the tool make collaboration easier? Does the tool help you to create something beautiful that you can show your employers or your clients? Okay, so by saving time, we have tools like ChatGPT, we have Claude, okay, we have automation systems. We have the Gemini for meeting notes that I talked about. So it would save you a lot of time. You don't have to go through the stress of typing, of thinking for too long, going through your notes that you've taken down during the meeting. So if it saves you time, go ahead and use it. All right. Reducing mistake. If the tool reduces the number of mistakes you make, it allows you to see things on a broader scale. Okay, go ahead and use it. If it's improving the quality of your work, before the document you create, nobody would want to read it. But now with the right prompt, you're able to create structured documents. People are now impressed. Anastasia, how did you do this document? My goodness, this is so fine. This is so detailed. Please go ahead and use it. Okay. Does it make collaboration easier? Now you can collaborate across different tools. Your Google Workspace tools, you can collaborate across it. Now even what do you call it now? Your Gmail, it has the chat option. So now people can come have conversations in real time, share documents. Google Docs, people can have brainstorming sessions. Like one of the activities that, because of you people, I could not complete my training class for today, but it's fine. So Luwani is going to give me Bobo after. So one of the activities were to do, I was going to make them to use Google Docs to have like a classwork. Okay, there everyone would be able to see what each person is doing. So it makes collaboration easier. Trello, Jira, it makes collaboration easier. It's not just one person working, passing it across to the next person. 2, 3, 4 people, depending on the capacity of the tool, can use it in real time. So if it does that, oh, I definitely have to use this tool. Can it create something that you can show your employers? So we talked about improving quality. If it can, do use it. Okay, we talk about vibe coding, right? So if you can use vibe coding and develop maybe a website and show your employers, and they can be impressed, you're solving the problem of them not having um their information on one place. Please go ahead and do it. So this is just a simple formula. So I said a useful tool is equal to repeatable tasks plus measurable results. Remember, measurable results. You're able to say, before, in a day I could do 5 tasks. Now I can do 20 tasks. You're measuring the results. Okay. Before, I had to like reach out to a lot of people. Now all I have to do is to create a prompt. For those of you who use Instagram, they now have an app that when you go, you put in your prompt, you put in the message, and you just tell people, type this message, and they automatically get a response. So now artificial intelligence or automation systems with prompt engineering, they are making the process very, very easy for you. So now you can do a lot of things within a short period of time. So again, you are able to make the decision if you say repeatable tasks plus measurable results. There you have your useful tool. Okay. So when I saw vibe coding, I said, you guys just want to try me because I'm still learning it. So I don't want to give you guys so much of what I don't really know. So you heard me talk about the previous tools. So this, I had to go to my friends and ask them. Okay, so I won't really speak extensively on that. I'm going to sue the person who told me to come talk about vibe coding. On my what do you call it now? On my LinkedIn, there is no place I put vibe coding because I don't used to say what I cannot do. But I decided to just talk about it a little. So I said this so that the team, Elevate team, would go out and look for someone who can explain vibe coding better. It's something I'm still exploring, especially for my business. So maybe by the end of this year, early next year, I'll be able to talk more about things like vibe coding. But IBM defines vibe coding as prompting AI tools to generate code instead of writing it manually, and stresses that human oversight still matters. So even your developers, they still matter. Developers are laughing at people using vibe coding, but you know how artificial intelligence it's growing, right? So I'm sure that the person who is creating vibe coding systems is just there, working on it and telling developers, I'm coming for you, right? But as where it is now, vibe coding is prompting AI tools to, now people use Claude, so you use these AI tools to generate code instead of writing it manually, and stresses that human oversight still matters. In every industry, you still need somebody to confirm these things. Like I talked about Google Meet, Gemini meeting notes. You still need somebody to go through those things and make sure that everything is accurate. But it would be a less amount of time that you're using. That's the difference. That's the benefit of using artificial intelligence tools or systems. Okay. So like yesterday we had a meeting. Okay, we had like Mondays, everyone has Monday meetings and all of that. So I had some tasks to do afterwards. What I just did was my toggle for Gemini meeting notice turned on. So after the meeting, all I just had to do was download the file, look through it, tweak it a little bit. There was a word that wasn't spelled correctly. So as I was going through it, I saw the word. I was like, Gemini meeting notes, you want to disgrace me. So if I had sent that document like that, they would have seen that mistake and they would have said, ah, this lady, we've caught you. Okay, so as much as possible, you still want to go over your document, you still want to make sure that everything that this AI tool is generating is actually correct. Okay, do your fact checking, very, very important. I'm writing a paper that talks about how, although in the energy sector, but I'm sure I'll be able to use it across different sectors. But a system as to which you can use AI effectively, it's like ethical management for AI tools. By the grace of God, I'm going to release it by the end of this year. But it just shows you the systems to follow to make sure that artificial intelligence does not ruin your work. Okay, so please, as much as possible, go over this insight, have like an overall view of everything, and make sure that it is correct. Remember where I talked about the sense of judgment? You want to have a sense of judgment. Google Cloud frames it as a conversational workflow that makes app building more accessible for people with limited programming experience. So you don't have to know all the databases, you don't have to know all the codes, you don't have to know every single thing about coding. All you just have to do is you know the basics, okay, you know how to use these tools. That is why learning is very important. Like I said, I'm going to be part of those that are learning by coding. So I finished the first stage, I finished the second stage. Now I'm in the later phase. So you guys should await my return. Okay, so I'll be with those people who are going to be learning vibe coding going forward. And I just want to say, stop overcomplicating things. Okay, stop overcomplicating things, please. As much as possible, you want to make sure that you're putting in the best. Okay, so don't think tech is only about coding. I've had a lot of jobs that I've worked with developers, but I don't know how to code as a person. Okay, I've worked on software development projects, but I don't know. I don't know the first thing about writing code. In school, they wanted to teach us what's this tool called again? I think I deleted it from my laptop. It's something like Python. But then I'm like, you guys, what is all this? I'm not a software developer, right? So don't think tech is only coding. All right. Don't try to learn every tool. You're just stressed. You're just tired. Where do I start from? You want to gain experience in one before moving to another. Okay, because that is what is going to set you apart. So at least have a good experience or a good knowledge about one before you move to another, so that you're not now called upon to like use these tools and you're stranded. You don't even know any one of them, but you've put on your CV that you know how to use 14 AI tools. Mm, mhm. Okay. And the last thing is, don't wait for perfect confidence. There's no such thing as perfect confidence, but you have to at least start from somewhere. Okay. So thank you. I hope I was able to deliver justice. I hope you guys have been able to go back with one or two things. And I hope I kept the time. Oh my God. They gave me punctuality prefect in school. Now I know why. Obviously, I stayed within 1 hour. So thank you. Thank you for listening. And any question, I think I will hand over the mic to Oluwafemi.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Enobong. Apologies. Please, can we keep it coming? Let us appreciate that. Let us appreciate that. It has been a very, very wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your input. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Adeleke, thank you. Emmanuel, thank you. I can see your emojis. TTO, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Anastasia, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That's nice. That's very, very nice. Okay, just like she said, it's the right time for questions and the answer. But before we uh, ask our questions. I know a lot of questions might be going on in our minds. If you have questions, please do also just drop it in the chat box. I will try as much as possible to look into the chat box. And I also have questions that have come in before the session. So if you have questions, please do also just drop it in the chat box. I will do all to go there and pick it up. But I have a question for the audience on behalf of our speaker. You know, I have a background in the education, so before you ask the teacher a question, the teacher will first ask you, you know, to ensure that you actually understand what she has been saying as a teacher. You know, you have to. I have to know that okay, you understand, so that when you now have question, I'll okay, actually you understand, but this one is just not clear. So I'd just like to chip this in, and if you have answer, please just very fast, just type it in the comment section, the comment box. So the question I have for us is, you know, there's a word that has been going around this particular session, and that particular word is prompt. Yeah, prompt. So I would like to ask us, what do you think prompt is? What is prompt? That word prompt. What exactly is prompt? So please, anyone, make it snappy. What do you think prompt is? What exactly is prompt? Like, I want to know. You know, she has been using that word very, very well, and I am sure a lot of us also must have been around that word, hearing the word prompt. So what do you think prompt is? Like, maybe as a word, as a sentence, a phrase. What do you think the word prompt? When you hear the word prompt, what does it mean? This I want to know. I'll be checking the comments now. Please, someone should help me with that. If not, you are not going to proceed with your own question. Yeah, that's what the decision is going to be. So I want to know, what is prompt? What is prompt? What do you think prompt is? Or if there's someone that wants to use voice, you can signify, then I'll call you. Like, raise your hand as a signification to notify me that you want to unmute your mic and say it, then I can call on you. To make it faster, please. Anyone can answer this. Okay, I think I have something in the comments. Okay, from Anastasia, she said, prompt is a question or instruction you give AI. Okay, thank you. She will be the one to be the judge of these answers, if it's actually correct, you understand. And we have Adeleke, she also said, a prompt is an instruction you give, you have AI to do something. I believe you give AI to do something. Thank you. I think I have your few answers to that question. So I believe when she's taking answers, this will be where she will start from. So just clarify if those definitions are correct. Yeah. And also, as the one that asked the question, now let me answer the questions. Like, you don't feel like you really asked the question. So do you even know? Okay. All right. So I see prompts as commands. Yeah. Just that word, command. That's my own definition for prompt, command. So it now depends on how good you can command your AI, then you get the best results out of it. Okay, so one more question, but you can just decide not to answer this one. So I will quickly go to because we've taken a lot of time, and we still have a few more things on the agenda, like just a few more before we wrap it up. Okay, so now she has mentioned a lot of AI tools. So the question is, how many of these AI have you interacted with? How many of this AI? A lot of this AI, they keep on coming. There's no time you use the social media that you will not actually see new AI. If you are conversant with TikTok, they always give you adverts of, okay, there's this new AI and this is what you can do. Tomorrow there's this new AI, this is what you can do. Tomorrow there's this new AI, this is what you can do. So how many of these AI have you interacted with? So that's another question for us to answer. Okay, I have another one from Oita Mola. She said a prompt is a message you give to a particular AI tool to generate what you want. This is detailed. Are you sure you thought of this? Just kidding. Thank you very much, Oye. Thank you very much. Okay, so do we want to answer the next question, or we should just go ahead to give our speaker a few questions? I don't know. You can just go ahead and just list in the comments here. So I will pick that up later. Just list as many as possible AI. Don't come here and just be typing something you have had, something you have used, and you have chat with, generate something with, probably just caption, probably image, you've generated something with. That's what I want to see. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also your questions can come in. I will pick them up as well. All right. So if we listen very well, attentively to. Okay, I think she wants me to actually persist on that. Okay, let's do this then. Let's do this. Okay, I will call names now. Yeah, they are shy. I want to believe so. I'm the shy type as well, so we are family. Okay, so Anastasia has actually gone far. She has used GPT, Google Gemini, Grox, then Gen V. Wow, this is new to me. Gen V. What does this one do? Wow. Okay, so let me pick up a few people. I would like you to drop it or quickly unmute your mic and tell me at least 2-3 AI that you're conversant with. Okay, so I will pick up a few people and 2 seconds, just unmute your mic and just give us a list. Don't come and show that you're AI specialist. You understand? Okay, let me see. Okay, Ifeoluwa, are you with us? Ifeoluwa, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. How are you? Okay,
I'm
so
fine.
can you give us a brief? Just mention names. AI is like a
All right.
conversation.
Okay, Chat GPT,
Okay,
Perplexity, Gemini,
okay.
Trello.
Wow. You guys are AI
Okay.
specialists, so thank you. That's enough. Of course, if we give you the ground, you continue and on and on. Okay, let's have one more person. Let's see. Uh, Watomi, are you with us? Can you unmute your mic? I want to know how many of these AIs are you're conversant with also. Watomi, are you there? Okay, Emmanuel, Wajokon. I hope I got that right. Emmanuel, are you with us? If people are really shy, true. Okay, no problem. All right, so let's move on. So I have questions here that I believe has been answered, but I'll pick few ones that are not really that were not really touched. You understand? So okay, so for one, I have. So once I relay the questions, I will give the floor for speaker to actually elaborate as short as possible, as short as possible on it. Okay, so we have the. Is it possible to build real value in tech by simply learning how systems and tools work? I will take that again. Is it possible to build real value in tech by simply learning how system and tool works? So okay, so we don't want it to be a yes or no. I believe you must have you thought something like this, but we just want something a bit elaborate. So you have the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Oluwafemi. Okay, so before I answer it, I want to talk about the question you asked, about prompt engineering and everything. So I want to say that for those who were saying artificial intelligence only, you said prompt is like an instruction given to artificial intelligence, so I want to clarify that artificial intelligence is the entire ecosystem. Okay, so it's just saying, there is human interaction, and then there is like the systems, complex systems. So there you now have your artificial intelligence tools. So it's more of prompting a model, okay, where you have, that's why I said you need to learn these things so that when you're communicating with your team, you know how to pass across like the right message and everything, and you sound like a pro, and they're looking at you like, Okay, so yeah, so it's you're prompting the model. Okay, you're prompting the model. You're not prompting artificial intelligence because it's like an entire ecosystem. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful definitions. Nice one, everyone. Okay. Then for the question about how you can make contributions with using, I think I'm paraphrasing it, but I want to confirm if I've gotten it. So you're using your systems, you're using tools. If you can create real value using systems and tools, right? Yes, definitely, definitely. When you understand how to use these tools, like I said, you could be saving time, you could be saving resources, you're improving value. So I'm going to use an example. Okay, so this is an example. If, for example, you know how to use Trello effectively, so normally in the organization, you've seen that, oh, everyone is usually confused as to what to do. People are doing tasks, but people are giving tasks, but nobody is doing anything. There's some sort of rowdiness in the team. You can now say, okay, if I teach these people how to use Trello, I know how to use Trello, and I teach people how to use Trello, will they be effective? That is you using a tool. You introduce Trello to the team, their tasks are being documented, resources, by resources, I mean like files are being documented. You're even able to connect it with a communication system, maybe your emails or your Slack. And you now see that within 3 months of you onboarding people on Trello, as an example, people are carrying out their tasks more effectively. All right, you're being able to monitor the system. So that is you using a tool to create more value. They will now see, you've solved the problem for this organization. You identified one, you provide a solution, and the organization is seeing growth, performance is being increased and all of that. So yes, it can in different ways. This is just an example. This is just one way that you can actually give value using a tool or system. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You did justice to the question. We appreciate. Okay, I would like to pass this across to the audience now. Uh, when she was talking about real value, she did not mention money. Because when we talk about real value, a lot of us believe, okay, money, yeah, I want to give, I just want to make money. But all of these things that she explains, actually where the money will come from. Yeah. That's where the money will come from. Because when you start making real value, when you start producing something good out of these old AI systems, they will pay you for the value, of course. Unless the organization does not actually see the value you're contributing, which is now an organizational fault. Then you have to look for organization that will appreciate you for the value you're offering. You understand? So thank you very much, Ma. That was a very good one for the question. Okay, another one here. Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry, I'll take that again. How should beginners think about positioning themselves if they are not technical? I believe you've touched on this also. So you can just phrase up on this to just know that, just to touch on it. Thank you very much, Maya, on the floor.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So for this one, I would like to go a bit practical. So I think I just want a case study, someone to help me. So I want to use someone experience to answer this question so that you're able to apply it as a person, not just to me, but generally. And you know what? I feel like you guys are shy, right? There's something about you guys this night. So I'm going to choose the person who is looking at me. Udochuku, Udochuku rather. Are you here? Udochuku. Your mic is muted if you're trying to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello. So you're looking at me. That's why I
Hello, can you
decided
hear
to
me?
choose you. Yes, I can.
What's happening? Okay. Hello?
Yes. Can you hear
Yes.
me
Can you hear
too?
me too? Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Okay,
So tell
great.
me
So
about
tell me about
yourself.
yourself.
Tell me
Tell me
what role
what
you're
role
currently
you're
doing
currently
or
doing
what
or
role you
what
have an
role you have
interest
an
in.
interest in. Okay, I am Udochukwu Success, and currently I work as project manager at Elivot. I also work as an operations manager, and I am. Oh, what else am I doing? Okay, I work as an operations manager at Jennifer Tech, and also I help with LinkedIn strategic engagement and so on. That's it for now. Should I go further?
Okay, so I think that is okay, but I would have loved to like hear the full gist, your hobbies, everything. Basically, I would love to get to know you because the way you're looking at me, I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so yes, so your question is as a person, as a non-technical person, she said she's a project manager, she's also an operations manager, and she's also into like the whole LinkedIn circle. So now everyone is on LinkedIn just looking at how they can grow. So someone asked, okay, I think I touched that. But yeah, so as a non-technical person, you can position yourself as an expert by showing, for example, let's use Elevate for as an example. Let's say you were if when Elevate started, when they didn't have you, you know, speakers' informations were scattered everywhere. Like everyone was just sending their information to their WhatsApp. Everything was scattered. Nothing was being managed properly and everything. That's just an example because I know Toluwani will not allow that, but that's just an example. So you've joined an organization like that. Okay, you've seen that the process is, rowdy and all. You could now say, okay, so now the process is rowdy, right? A lot of things are happening, but nothing is being taken note of. You can now say, okay, so if we use Google Forms or if we use Luma, we can be able to get the speaker's information and they would be documented properly, they would be saved. So even if we need to go out and look for this information, we have where you could like get the information from. So that is you communicating real value. That is you showing yourself as an experienced person, even as a beginner. Okay. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, very well, very well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma. We appreciate that. I think that clarifies the question. Okay, so I have a question I want to check next, and coincidentally, I have the same question inside the comment box. So the question goes, which AI tool can a novice start with? There are a lot of these AI tools out there. Let me check. I hope I'm still audible. Okay, there are a lot of these AI tools out there, so many of them that we were mentioning. So as a beginner, which ones matters? That's where the question is on the background. But in the comments, which one do you think I can start with? So I think they kind of blend the questions.
Yeah, so the person was reading from your script. I feel like you shared your script with them and they are just like, what, let me ask before him. But yeah,
I
that's
think
nice.
so.
Okay, so as a beginner, the first thing you want to know is where am I currently? Okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to save time? Do I want to improve quality? Do I want to solve a systems problem, a systems, maybe a tax management problem? All right, you have to ask yourself that question first. So you know what to focus on. Based on the answer to that question, you could now say, okay, if where I am right now, the organization I am, they have a problem with managing systems or processes, you could decide to start with Trello or Asana or ClickUp or Jira, depending on the industry you're currently working on, and the ability for the team to like learn these systems. Okay, you don't want to introduce something that will take them years to learn or something that you cannot teach them. You cannot learn by yourself and teach them. Okay, so that is one. You could also say, okay, I want to be able to save time I want to be able to work on more documents using a less amount of time. You could decide to use ChatGPT, you could decide to use Cloud, you could decide to use Gemini. Okay, so you have to first of all know where you are and what purpose or what problem you want to solve. Then you can choose the right tool. So please know where you are first, then you can move from there.
All right. Thank you very much. And I hope the questions has been answered to you. I hope it's clear to you, Emmanuel. All right. Thank you very much, Ma. We are eating up a lot of our time, and I would still like to touch more of these questions because we have a list of them. Even though we're not able to cover, now that's just the truth. We're not able to cover everything. Okay. I just like to chip this in, and I hope the owners of this AI will not actually start searching for me and dragging me up and down. Okay, so there's the way I classify these AIs. So I'd just like to share it and just see your opinion on it. When we talk about ChatGPT, the guy is just like your gist body, just like the way my colleague said she's using it. When we talk about Grok is one proud guy, probably because of the owner, so to say. Sorry, I'm not mentioning any name. But when you mention Meta AI, when we mention Meta AI, that guy is just like one kindergarten guy, just trying to grow. These are my own preference. These are my own preference. And when you talk about the cloud AI, the guy is just too diplomatic. Yeah, that guy does not even give room for anything. You get in fresh and you have to pay to even do anything. No, he's too diplomatic. Okay, so and this will now actually take me to the question that help us to wrap up and just give us some kind of takeaway before we wrap up the whole session. So this one is if you are advising a beginner on the path to go in, which path will you suggest? Even yourself, you mentioned that you are just engaging into another path, which is vibe coding. So now, if you want to suggest a path for someone, okay, I meet you now probably as a fresh graduate, and I feel like, okay, I graduated from social course, and I want to go into, AI. I've been hearing this, and I feel like it's something I can dive into. Whether it's in line with what I studied in school or not, how will you suggest I go into AI? Which path will you think, okay, try from this or begin from this? And also, which AI tool will you say, okay, start with this particular AI tool? As for the audience, this is not actually a kind of advice for you. You still have to work on yourself, know what exactly works for you. But just to answer the question, I hope you get the question. Thank you very much. You have the floor now.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So if it is for the use of AI tools, I'd say you can start with ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is the easiest to use. And like you said, Oluwafemi, it's like the gist body. So you could even tell it like everything about you, or you tell it, oh, I'm a petroleum engineer, or I studied petroleum engineering. I love to organize, I love to put things in order, I love like communicating, I love serving people. You just give it like your whole life story, basically. You talk until that button starts turning, and then they tell you, sweetheart, time is up. We don't want to listen to you again, because ChatGPT has like a time frame as to which you can talk, and it starts answering your question already and all. So you could decide to start with that, know the different systems to use, know the different shortcuts and all of that. And, it could even make suggestions as to how you can grow, additional systems you can use and all. So it's the simplest, it's the most universal. You don't need so many points, don't need so many subscriptions. You can start with like the free plan. So I would say start with ChatGPT, especially if you want like document creations, like some sort of decision making body, a thinking partner and all of that. So you could start with that. If you're more of designs, okay, you're more of creating colorful things, all right, you could decide to start with Canva. So it's generally like it depends on you as a person. What do you want to do? There's if I'll send the slide later on. but you'd see beginner level, you'd see what you can do later and all of that. So you just look at that table. Okay, this is the solution I'm trying to bring to the table. Okay, this is what I know. Where would be most valuable for me as a person and for my organization? There you can now choose the best tool. The same goes with your career. Okay, if you want to become an AI engineer, if you want to become an automations engineer, if you want to become like a quality assurance person, just checking for the wrong. If you're like a police, okay, you're the person that finds faults, where people would not see faults, you could go for like quality assurance or, be a quality engineer. So just know you, me, I knew who I was. That's why I went for project management and I've been growing in this space, So just know you, do you, grow, and be the best so that you take Oluwafemi's job.
Okay, thank you very much once again. We appreciate that. When she was talking about know you, do you, when she was trying to explain, you just have to find out what works for you. Like, nobody is going to exactly say, do this. No, no, no. It's just like seek ye first the kingdom of God. Where's the kingdom of God? Something like that. Just go on and look for it. Every other thing will follow. Just simple as that. Sorry for using that. That's just what I'm conversant with. All right. We have a lot of questions, but time will not permit. So, to our next session, I believe we've done a lot of justice to majority of the questions we have on the list. And so, just before we wrap it up, because we have exhausted our time already, I would like to put to our hearings that this series has actually been compiled and has been brought to us by Elevot Limited. Elevot Limited is a tech innovative company with the vision to actually ensure that fresh graduates, young minds, youths, trying as much as possible to find a fitting career, have a way to go about it. This is why we are here. And to ensure this, we've actually put in place various arms to the Elevot Limited, one of which includes the Elevot Academy. You can join the academy, of course, it's an academy for a fee, to learn about any of these career paths. And also, we have the Elevot career and development arm. This is when you can have one-on-one session with some of our specialists, like the founder herself, the project manager leads, the tutors, can meet them one-on-one. They will coach you, guide you, and all of that. And also we have the Elevot Labs. This is a compilation of various talents and minds coming together to produce products that the market generally needs, and also to ensure that we are bringing value to the general community. And also we have the Elevot ETR. This is Elevot Talent and Recruitment. This functions to ensure that we bring talents to partners and the organization talent seekers out there. This is what these departments function as. Also, we have the communications and marketing. These are people that I will always shout out to. They ensure something like this is out there for you to see on our social pages and everywhere. So shout out to the community and the comms and marketing team. I really appreciate you guys. Those guys are not silly for joke. Every day, every time, they are always there putting out something out there to ensure that the community is actually rolling. Okay, so if you are thinking to join any of these programs, you can always send a mail to Elevot. Someone will check the inbox and ensure response to you. We have a lot of things you can benefit from. If you are looking to, study, seek mentorship, you can always DM us. You can just send a mail to elevothub.com or hr@elevot.com. You can try any of this. And also, you can always check our social pages on YouTube at Elevot_HQ, on Facebook at Elevot_HQ, on X, we are there also, Elevot_HQ. And also, you can also check us out on LinkedIn. Yeah, same thing, Elevot_HQ. So for you to catch up on the next series, you can always check our page. Just stay glued to our page. You will find out when the next series is, but I believe that should be Friday. But in order for you not to be convinced or confused, rather, you can just check out our socials so that you can stay up to date. We will still keep on with this series and even many more activities that are there to come in. And if you are looking to intern with Elevate Limited itself at various aspects, you can just send email to hr@elevate.com. I will be the one personally to respond to you and ensure that we get you on board. And mind you, we actually prefer serious-minded people. We don't want people that will talk, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then you come in, and at the end of 1 week, you are running away. We will not look for you.